Hello and welcome to another episode of Bluethentic. We've got the full gang here, Adam Papple, Robbie Green and Rocky. How are you, gentlemen?
Morning. G'day, guys. How are we?
Good, thanks. How are you, Adam and Rocky?
I wasn't really enthusiastic by you gents this morning. I need a bit more energy. I know it's early morning.
Oh, mate. I'm still recovering.
Still recovering. You're
Still
a bit
recovering.
hurt. Hit Bert by Thursday night.
Shock and awe it was. It was like Jekyll and Hyde. It was just two different games. But hey, that's why we're here. We're here to discuss it.
Does it make it worse that Collingwood won, or is it better that the Saints lost?
Always does. You know that.
Yeah. I mean, the Collingwood, everyone's writing off Collingwood, but they still find a way.
Yeah.
That's the annoying thing. And St Kilda threw the checkbook out. They said, right, we mean business. We're here to actually, make finals and be a significant player in the finals. And then Collingwood Dad's Army comes out and bang, beats them.
Absolutely.
I felt myself going for St Kilda. Last night.
Did you? Yeah. Yeah. Jack Silvani, probably. Had a reasonable game, Jack.
Yeah, he's okay. TDK was okay. Not sure about 1.7 anyway.
Yeah, they were serviceable.
Yeah. Yeah. Silvani just intercepted the garbage kicks from Collingwood. He's good at doing that. Looked a bit slow, but look, they'll improve St Kilda, no doubt. How's our injury list, Maxie? I know Sard's going to miss next week.
So I think Sard's the only one from the game that's an out at this stage, unless there's always something that pops up that we're not aware of. That's for sure. Cowan and Carroll got through the VFL on Friday night, so they'll be up for selection. So did Akers. So everyone's forgotten about Akers. So he's the other one that could be up for selection.
Yeah. Okay. I need to add into my list of
for who? Who would you put him in for, Akers? I don't think it's.
Well, we lost by 63 points.
Yeah. Oh, look, he's a senior player, so he'll come up for selection. There's no doubt.
He's a hard runner. He gets back. I know his kicking's a problem, but he's a hard runner. He's had a reasonable pre-season other than the injuries that he's come across. So let's talk about Thursday night. Let's talk about Thursday night. Let's do it quarter by quarter, because I thought in the first quarter there was a real intent, particularly off half-back and with the ball movement. The pressure was good. I thought we started really well.
Yeah,
it was. Sorry, go, Rob.
No, you're right. Oh, look, we just owned territory. The ball was quite dewy. We handled it really well. Our structure around stoppage was really sound. It just reminded me of the week before against Geelong. We controlled the game. Our contested possession numbers were up. We had 31 more uncontested possessions in that first half and really controlled it. But really confident. I was down at the Doutta Galla, having a couple of beers, and Ben shared us a couple of beers as well, which was nice. But yeah, I guess half times can be pretty cruel to some teams, even though we did come out and kick the first 2 goals of the third quarter and got up to 22 points in front. But I never felt as though Sydney were in the game up until that point. It just clearly shows mindset in footy's a big thing.
Rocky, we kept Sydney goalless in the first quarter.
It hasn't been done for a long time. So for me, but in saying that, we kept them goalless. But I think some of it's got to do with their own doing, if that makes sense. I just think that it wasn't the Sydney that we've known them to be, in regards to the way they move the ball and the handling of the ball, the position kicking, So for me, I even though we 10 points up in the first quarter, I didn't think that Sydney were out of it regardless of how they were playing. I always felt that they were going to come back. But where I was stunned is how they came back. It's in 20 minutes of football, they kicked 12 goals.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that says more about us, I think, than what it does about Sydney. Because we know where Sydney's at. We've had a good pre-season. We've beat the grand finalists and the premier of last year. We went in there with a bit of confidence. I would never in my wildest dreams thought that Sydney would come back and kick 12 goals in the third quarter. I expected them to come back, but nowhere near that. We should have been 4 or 5 goals in front by half time.
Yeah, as soon as they got on a run, we lost to any sort of structure that we may have had in the first half. Our stoppage, it just works from the source, and I think our stoppage work really let us down. It then became a problem for our ground balls. We couldn't pick up a ground ball. And then in the end, when they did go further in front, we didn't want to go near the ball. That was the issue. And when we've played footy, when things aren't going well, you don't want to go near the ball sometimes. And I think Carlton's failure was wanting to win the footy that next contest.
But how does it go from the first half to that second half, where you had commentators saying that this is a mauling, to basically not wanting to go near the ball? I don't understand that. I don't get it. It's a mindset. How quick does a mindset change then? Does it show how fickle we are?
It's interesting. Look, we went. Let's pick this apart a little bit more. We went 22 points up, right? I think it was it Pitnet that kicked that goal.
17-minute mark, third quarter.
Yeah. So Moya. So Hollands hits Moya. We go 16 points up. Beautiful kick, great finish, Moya, and then Pitnet kicks that goal. We go 22 points up. I think the next play, and I'm a moments and a momentum sort of person, right? I think Lewis Young dropped a chest mark, right, and the ball went out of bounds. They got a goal, right? I can't remember the exact play, but I think Sard had the ball in half back, kicked inboard to no one.
Loose, yeah.
Right, turnover, they kicked the goal, right? And then there was a play in the goal square where Logan McDonald, he's just an average footballer, Logan McDonald, outmarked Lewis Young far too easy. Young Harry Dean probably should have intercepted. I don't know. So there's 3 goals there, right? In reality, those 3 goals shouldn't have happened if our defense was better from either marking the ball, killing the ball, or Saab would have been better off kicking the ball on the full.
Yeah, but you saw that a little bit last night with Collingwood and St Kilda. Sometimes they just hack kick the ball, and Sard is renowned for doing that. He'll just get it.
You say that, but
swing
you
around.
know what? For a period there in the game, Collingwood were under siege. You know what happened? Their backline supported them.
Yeah. Correct.
Yeah.
If I know, Robbie, you and I spoke about this offline. You're blaming the midfield. Where's our deep defense? Where's our ground defense? So in this situation, the defense needs to come to the party, and they didn't. And I know we're some personnel down, but I blame the defense that just didn't hold up for long enough.
Yeah, we're not at full strength in defence at the moment because of a couple of players out, and that really shows. And look, Lewis Young's borderline senior player. Sometimes he'll come up and show a little bit. He shouldn't have dropped that mark. The ball was a bit dewy. I still think the most of the problem was our midfield, lost our structure. And I'll name a couple of players here that just dominated us. Heaney, Goulden, going up into stoppages. Goulden just had a field day. I know he was quiet in that first half.
They were all quiet in that first half. So what's changed? What changed though? This is the thing. I don't understand. I don't get it. What's changed? They were all quiet in the first half. We actually kept them to, I think, under 10 possessions, all 3 of them.
Yeah,
the Lizard wasn't getting a sniff.
Yeah. I just think around that bubble, around that cloud of players at every stoppage, whether it was boundary line or midfield stoppage, we lost our way and lost our mindset. So, and that's Blakey running through halfback, getting meters gain.
Like, what do you mean by mindset? What do you mean by mindset?
I think that as soon as something went wrong, we went back to last season and just
they got a sniff.
Yeah, got a sniff.
Fickle. They're fickle.
Yeah, they opened the door, and I think our senior players didn't pull our younger players together and just try and control the game. In that first half, we were really controlling. We were able to just hit up and get uncontested possessions really, really easily. I know we were working really hard to do that. Much similar to last year, where we just had the gas in the first half, and then second half, we pulled up at the petrol station. There was nothing there.
So why didn't they slow it down? Why didn't they just slow it down?
Correct.
Chip
Tempo.
it around, uncontested arcs. Just chip it around. Just play it back
Take
on our
time.
terms.
And that's a
time.
good question, and that comes from your senior players just trying to take control, much like last night with Doutta, Pendlebury. Have some poise, have some time and space. Our time and space in the second half last week, we couldn't actually hold the ball. That was the issue. And when we did, we coughed it up, we bombed it, and it was a little bit of Carlton involved. But I still love what we did in the first half. I reckon if we take that slice out and turn it into 3 quarters this week, I think we're in the game against Richmond. And that's what we've got to take
3 quarters ain't enough. 3 quarters ain't enough. You need a 4 quarter. That's got to be 4 quarter. The way we played, but it's got to be 4 quarters. You saw what Sydney did in 20 minutes, not even a quarter. In 20 minutes, they destroyed us. Game was over.
So I don't think we can sustain what we did for the first half of the full game. But what we can do is play more tempo footy.
Yes.
When needed. And then it's more sustainable type of game.
Yeah. And Collingwood did that last night. They played St Kilda well. You know, their tempo footy was good. And they went when they needed to go, and that's why they won the game.
So 12 months ago, we played Richmond with 41 points up, and we know what happened, right? And those scars were with the team all year. Now, Sydney's kicked 18 goals in the second half, right? Doherty's come out and said his part, which we know about. Like, I just feel like this is going to happen again. This is going to be recurring, and these scars are still there. And it doesn't matter if you're a new player or an old player. It's just in the culture. This is a concern, guys.
Yeah, definitely. I have no doubt about it. When we go back to why did Sydney? I've got here. Where did it go wrong? All right, mindset. One has to be mindset. Yeah, when you get scored against,
100%.
Your mindset it has changed. Yeah, you've lost your want to win the footy. You refuse to get any ground balls, and when you do, you pick the ball up. I had a rule when I coached: when players picked up a ground ball, you had to handball it. What happened on Thursday night was quite often we'd pick up a ground ball and just want to bomb kick it straight into the opposition's hands.
But that that didn't happen in the first half.
No, the second half. Yeah, after that short period. And then we had Blakey getting metres gained, allowed to be the spare. That's a coaching thing. Yeah?
Yes.
Yep. What happened to Wanganeen Malira last night was the Collingwood player, what's the XG? Perryman. He followed him everywhere, tagged him everywhere he went. Didn't matter where he went.
So why doesn't Carlton do that? Why doesn't Carlton do that with Ollie Hollands and Goulden?
Yeah. Well, I think Ollie did stay on. He was on Goulden early. And then I think he just lost his way. I don't know if Goulden outworked him or not. I'm not sure.
No, I think they put Chesser on him too. I think they swapped him around.
What, like Ed Kerno was a great tagger. He just did what Perryman does, just follow him everywhere he goes. I just don't get how these play. Like, just play 17 on 17, guys. Just go and play 1-on-1 with Goulden. Yeah, I don't get it. I know I'm being simplistic in my view.
Yeah, look,
but
I'm sure they'll
simplistic
review that.
Is the best way of doing it.
Yeah, so those things I talked about, mindset, ground balls became non-existent after that period, after half-time, after we kicked that first 2 goals. I think we might have just gone into our shells a bit and thought, geez, how do we win? We're not sure how to win. We don't know what to do. Yeah. Blakey, Heaney, Goulden. Those 3 players single-handedly turned Sydney's game around. Stoppage structure. Found ourselves chasing arse. We looked like under-9s, where we were just, it was kiss chasey at one stage. They were running around, just doing what they want, uncontested. The ball was wet. There wasn't a lot of aerial stuff. I know I did make a note here. Aerial contested contested footies, contested marks 5 to 8. We actually led that, but there's only 13 contested marks taken for the game in total between the two teams. Our forward half pressure, I was really worried about that last week against Geelong. That's a big concern. They might look as though they're chasing, but I saw Collingwood do forward half pressure last night properly, and St Kilda. That's how you chase and apply pressure. That's how you sprint and apply pressure. We didn't. We pretended to do that Friday night.
38 tackles.
Thursday. 38.
38 tackles for the whole game.
Yeah. So 38 to 67. That's
there you go.
That's a big number.
That's damning. That's damning.
Yeah. What's that? 29.
That is damning.
Yeah. So 38. Divide that into 23 players. For that alone, that highlights that we don't like to put the bumper bar up. We don't like to tackle. We don't like to put pressure on. That's a big issue.
And who were the two of who had the most tackles for the game?
Don't have that stat right here.
Errol Gordon. So Errol Gordon, the bloke that changed the game with the ball in hand, had the most tackles.
Did he? Yeah. See, that's
Isaac Heaney had 8.
Yeah, both ex-rugby league players, so they don't mind playing. They don't mind playing that game.
Yeah. But that's
how many tackles do you reckon Cooper Lord had? 0.
He didn't have a tackle. Yeah. Okay. Yep.
Lockie Fogarty.
Yeah,
Lockie Fogarty. He's in the team for one purpose.
Yeah.
0 tackles.
Yep. Yeah, that's right. Oh, yeah, it's concerning. But I'm still optimistic about what we did in that first half. I think there's just a big focus now on what we do in that second half and how we maintain a positive mindset. Because I know the ability's there. Our structure around stoppage was awesome. We're able to just clear stoppage really, really easy. And funnily enough, if you take Pitnet's 3 goals out, then what do you got? So Pitnet's game was good. It was solid. He played pretty well. I think Reedy was a little bit out of his depth. So that'll be an issue. That might be an issue going forward.
It's his first game. I think you got to give him some. You got to have some credits in the bank. You can't automatically presume he's going to come out and star. He's not going to do that.
And he does play like the Nank the Tank from the Tigers. He might need a couple of years. Yeah, Nank wasn't a star when he first played with Sydney.
Yeah, and Darcy Cameron. I remember Darcy Cameron came to Collingwood and it took him a while to
Lloyd
get going. Lloyd Meek. It takes him. I mean, Lloyd Meek hit the ground running, I think. But yeah, well, we'll see how he goes. I think
his first year wasn't. His first year was a bit of a. People were starting to question what have they got in there for, and then he just turned it around. Yeah,
I want to say that Wheats did a great job on Charlie. Charlie had little influence. He got a couple in the end.
They were cheapies. He got a couple of cheapies.
Yeah, Wheats did an outstanding job. You could tell he wasn't 100% still.
Yeah.
He did fly for a mark, and I think he spoiled Sard.
I think he really needs, a Nick Haynes or even a Lockie Cowan just to help him a little bit down back.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a very undermanned
and Nick Newman.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think if we're relying on a Haynes, we're in trouble.
Yeah, I think
we're not relying on him, but it's just a bit of help, right?
If we get Nick Newman back, Carroll, Cowan, just those 3 alone, doesn't have to be Haynes, but Haynes, just what he does, he organises really well. His communication on the ground is outstanding. So he provides that source of communication that we lacked on Thursday night when the chips were down.
So I'm going to ask the question: Is this fixable? Like, is this can the players turn this around, or let's put it out there, it's just a Michael Voss problem?
Yeah. I still need a bigger sample size. I'm sort of leaning towards a Michael Voss problem, and I don't want to, because I think we've got to change our ways. And not blame the coach all the time, but it's just a rinse and repeat from last year. We're just seeing exactly the same thing as last year. We play a fantastic first half and then we just shit ourselves the second half, and nothing seems to have changed. So I want to see how we go for the next 3 weeks. The next 3 games are all winnable. We've got Richmond, we've got Melbourne, we've got North Melbourne. If we don't win those 3 games, based on the first half performance,
at least 2 of them, at least 2.
Ooh, heck, hang on, Maxie. Here comes a big call. Here we go. What have we got?
Oh, what's that? If we don't win the next 3 games, then I think Voss won't last beyond that.
Wow. Okay, and it's possible that we may not win the next 3 games.
Yeah. Well, then I'm really, really worried if we don't win the next 3 games for him.
I don't. So we won 9 games last year, right? I don't think anyone really thinks us to win too many more than 9. I think if we won 9, 10, 11, 8, right? But if we end up winning 4 or 5, yeah, Voss might be gone anyway. But yeah, I mean, there's real signs on Friday night, wasn't they? Just didn't respond after half time for him. And Sam Doherty obviously airing some dirty laundry, and we don't want to talk about it too much, but you know, he played there 6 months ago, 12 months ago. So clearly there's some locker room talk about Voss.
I think Docs was probably a bit unlucky with Dan the Man. I think he got caught down leg side off his hip, Docs. Maxie, what do you think? He did hit the ball.
You're trying to get a zinger out here, are you? It's not bad.
Yeah. No, it's come off his hip, off the thigh pad, and the umpires said you're out.
I reckon he was.
And Dan the Man's put him under the bus.
I reckon he was playing a pull shot, mate. I reckon he was happy for it to be aired.
Yeah, 100%. He knew it was going to go somewhere, mate. That's clickbait. That was always going to go somewhere, mate.
Think about it, right? Think about it. Doherty's just getting into the media, right? This is a good opportunity for him to, have a bit of impact.
Yeah, he can do what he wants. Look, it's there might be bad blood. Who knows? You don't know what's going on behind the scenes. He might be texting Cripper and just saying, "Hey, mate, that wasn't bad," and Cripper might just say, "Yeah, they're probably having a laugh." Look, it is what it is. He can do what he wants in the media. So he's come off the long run.
Let's talk about some positives. So I thought Sam Walsh probably he looked like he got through the game pretty well. Was ringing it out pretty well. I thought he was pretty good. He's probably arguably our best player.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, and he was hurting after the game, and I like to see that. His post-match interview was really, really telling around the pain he felt about losing the game. So I think that's good leadership. That demonstrates that he cares. And there was lots of those stories. I felt as though we had some really, really good players. I think Pitnet was outstanding. He really tried hard. Didn't win the headouts in the end, but I think from a performance point of view, you can't ask any more than that.
He looks good, doesn't he? I mean, what are we paying? $400,000 a year, 3 goals. He actually looks quite fit, which is good to see. Hopefully, he can hold up throughout the year. Jagger and Harry Dean for their first game, I thought, were really good.
Yeah, 100%. They were really, really good.
I mean, Jago 27, Harry Dean looked pretty good down back, pretty balanced. Didn't look out of the game at all. Cooper Lord had 26 possessions. I thought his first half was really good, Cooper Lord.
He was just missing that tackling pressure. I mean, I know you said he'd never tackled. The week before in the practice game, he had 13. So it just makes you wonder what happened. It's a mindset. Rob's right. It's a mindset game. It's just something goes wrong and they just go in their shells and that's it. And now this is going to be telling because if we're in the same situation this week, it'll be interesting to see how we come out in the second half. It's particularly around what happened with Sydney and particularly around what happened with Richmond the year before. Yeah,
and when you're low on confidence, don't expect a change this week, guys. Don't expect to win. AFL players' mindsets are fragile, and at the moment we're fragile. We're after one game, everyone's coming for Voss, everyone's coming for Carlton. So the players would be feeling the pressure. They'll be at training, just missing, kicking.
But Rob, we're playing Richmond.
Correct.
Yeah, I know. That's what we said last year.
But the way to alleviate pressure is to win and to
That's
beat
right.
these sides below us. I mean, if we cannot beat Richmond this week,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I,
I look at
I give up. I give
I
up.
look, the message for the players would be do the simple things really, really well.
Correct.
Yeah. Don't go praising yourself for a half of footy. It's take a view of Collingwood's game last night where what they did was just stay in the game. A couple of goals ahead, a goal ahead, but then they would respond to everything that St Kilda threw up.
But their forward line, like, they've got a kid in there playing Buller, right? Like he's not very good at all for Collingwood. But Lockie Shields, Jordan De Goey, McCreary, these types, just their pressure and their ability to hit the scoreboard was outstanding. Now we need the same from our crew. Kemp, Moya, I'm not sure he can do it. Moya, Mackay needs to hit the scoreboard. We need to bring in Taylor Boone. We need blokes that can hit the scoreboard. Haywood, Ainsworth.
Yeah, as a defender, when you have forward pressure, it's hard. It's really, really tough when forwards want to apply pressure and basically call it a lock-in because the ball's there. It's not going anywhere. Collingwood did that last night. So Taylor Byrne, for me, if he's fit, he's right to go. He has to come in. There's no doubt about it. Has to.
Even if he's on managed minutes, like just manage his minutes.
Yep.
Playing 50, 55 minutes of the game time.
Cripper, boys, what's happening there?
I think he got a bit emotional on Thursday night, Cripper. I think he was going the body a bit. He was trying to fly the flag for the team. I think he just needs to get back to what he does best and getting the hard ball, the contested possessions, and feeding it out to Jagger and Walsh. I think there's an issue with Cripper. I know Corns have gone at him. I know Lee Matthews went at him 6 years ago. How'd that go, Lee? I reckon we leave him alone. He'll come out firing.
Yeah. Look, Rocky's talking. Yep.
You're lip syncing, Rocky. Oh, you're on mute.
Kylie Minogue, lip syncing.
Sorry, I said I was saying, Adam, that's 6 years ago. He's 6 years younger. I mean, I just think the game's catching up on him pretty quick. He can't continue to play this sort of game. I think we can't rely on Cripper. We have to find another avenue. And who it is, I've got an idea. It could be Cooper Lord or maybe Chera when he comes back. Maybe Ben Camporelli. There has to be someone. You have to start passing the baton over.
You reckon Cripper's gone?
No, I'm not saying he's gone. I'm saying the game's catching up to him. I'm not saying he's gone because he still can play, 12, 14 good quality games. But you're saying Lee Matthews just said he's gone 6 years ago. But that was 6 years younger, 6 years less bash and crash.
Maxi,
add 6 years onto that.
Rocky, last night, Collingwood, what was their biggest asset out of stoppage?
Pendlebury.
Speed. No.
Was it Pendlebury?
He played forward. Yeah, he played forward. He had 8 score involvements, killed it.
Speed.
Anyway,
8 score involvements.
Speed out of stoppage. What has Carlton got? We don't have speed out of stoppage.
Well, we've got Walsh and Jagger, don't we? Really?
Yep.
Jagger now.
So how many inside 50s we had last Thursday night and didn't capitalise on?
Correct. That's what I'm saying. We didn't take our opportunities. Yes.
Didn't take our opportunities, but speed out of stoppage can rattle defences really quickly.
But that was the same thing last year, though, mate. How many? We were the top 4 in entries into inside.
Yeah,
but they're dump kicks.
It's different. We're worst converting side.
Yeah. But when you got speed out of stoppage, you can accelerate away from your player, your opposition, and you can take some territory. You've got some time and space. Our guys are slow out of stoppage. We may win those stoppages as it showed Thursday night, but it's usually chase pressure, and we're feeling that pressure, and it becomes a dump kick.
So we haven't addressed our issue then. If that's been our issue, we haven't addressed it really.
Haven't addressed it.
So is that why Zach Williams is playing around the stoppages a bit, do you think?
Yeah, well, he started there Thursday night. Yeah, started there, showed got a couple of touches. He's not a midfielder, not by any stretch, but they felt as though they need to put him in there. So if you look at what Walsh is our quickest out of stoppage, Walsh is reasonably quick, but can't kick the ball properly. Unfortunately, his disposal is
Jagger's pretty good out of stoppage.
Well, we build a little bit out of Jagger. He had a pretty good game, first game, bloody hell, to rack up that many. But he's quick, he's the future. But outside of that, it's high pressure when we win the footy, and we've either got to dish it off to a runner, which we don't have a lot of speed off half back.
Yep,
that's an issue.
Again,
whereas you look at Sydney, they just have to give it to Blakey. He gets meters gained straight away.
Yeah,
Warner. But again, it just goes to
it's an issue.
Show how stubborn. I think it's just
it's an issue right now. Now we're talking about bringing Chera in. Like Chera's very, very slow. He brings the same shopping bag every week.
No. I didn't say bring Chera in. I just said we were talking about Cripps, and I said, well, who else have we got to sort of take that incontested bull type position, which is they're your three that I mentioned. It's Chera, Ben Camporelli, or Lord. That was for Cripps. So we're not going to get speed out of Chera, and I agree there. But this just goes to show what I was saying before, that Voss hasn't changed his ways. He's headstrong on that contested game plan, and he hasn't addressed the issue that we've been missing, is the speed. On the outside.
No. So that's a recruiting issue. And I can't see any change there. I'm looking at the list. Unless we bring in Camporelli, unless we find a nugget in the twos.
The Camporellis are slow.
They're not quick. That's your contested player.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, they're probably quicker than what we've got. But anyway, so that's a problem in itself.
So early changes for Thursday night. Sard's out.
Yeah, Sard's out. So I've got a team that I sent around last night. So so our back six should look like this: Cowan, Wheats, and what? Dean. Sorry. Ollie Florent. Look, McGovern's, borderline, and Boyd, that he'll fill that other spot. I think Boyd will come in. Yep.
Yeah.
Sard,
yeah. Small defender. I can't unless there's someone else in
good
the
ball
twos.
user.
Yeah, good ball user.
Does McGovern? Did you have Cowan? You Cowan in that team, didn't you?
Yeah. Cowan.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Yep. Carroll will start on the bench, so he'll become that extra defender or a winger, and push Ollie Hollands back. Yeah, so that'll be, still not at full strength there, but I think that's our back six. Yeah. I think Ainsworth and Haywood, happy to give them time, but I think those two, they shouldn't go to training this week thinking that things are okay. And I don't think they will.
I'll be okay. So who's your centre line?
I've got Ollie Hollands, Cripps, Chesser. Prepared to give Chesser some time. I think he's got some ability. Let's have a look at him, see what he does.
Well, he's actually got some speed. He's got some speed, doesn't he?
Correct. But this is where you're going to build. This is where you're going to build confidence against these sides now for these players. You need to play them. You can't make wholesale changes or drastic changes.
No, that's right. You can't. Yeah, you're spot on, Rocky. If you make wholesale changes, that's only going to be detrimental to the team.
Correct.
But when you say wholesale changes, I think Cowan and Carroll, regardless of who played last week, I think they're two very good players, very good young players that need to come in. They need to come in.
Yeah. But we know that they're potentially part of our best 23.
Yeah, that's right.
So yes. So we sort of agree. I'm not saying, but that anyone seeing that guys are always going to be a stable of your 23 now moving forward.
Yep. Still having a few internet problems there, Rocky. Greenie, your half forward line.
Half forward line. Look, it's Ainsworth, Kemp, and Haywood. Don't forget, guys, we're playing at the MCG this week. Sydney is quite a difficult ground to play on, especially
Very
when you're not
difficult.
in red hot form. And Sydney, going back to the Swans, I think they let themselves down Friday night Thursday night in the first half. They fumbled, they dropped marks. That wasn't the Sydney that we've become to know. So, but we're on a home of footy this week, MCG. A lot of these players, a lot of our players, be licking their lips. All right, so you could see some form turnaround from some of our players, especially Harry Mackay. And if O'Keefe comes in, we know what this guy can do. He's a really, really good footballer, this kid, and I think he comes into the team.
So is Mackay, Kemp, and O'Keefe, is that too tall?
Oh, look, Kemp plays as a medium-sized forward.
Yeah.
Good on ground balls, good at high marking, and we can also use him down back as well, because I do think that Kemp's probably near our best defender if he played there, and that flexibility's got to be there for him. We can't just go, well, he's trained as a forward. Pendlebury didn't train as a forward until last night, and then he has 7 score involvements. Said he'd never been to a forward line meeting until he found out tonight he was playing forward. So, no, I don't think so. We can rotate those guys off the bench.
So are we just to that point? So are we better off having Kemp play back, McGovern out of the team, O'Keefe up forward?
I think what Kemp gives us is that flexibility up forward. He's a better player than Haywood. Haywood's still medium size. He just gives us that height factor, and his aerial stuff's really clever.
Okay.
Yeah, I'd keep Kemp there unless we're really desperate. McGovern's got to get that opportunity to stand up this week. He is very, very close to being dropped.
I actually thought McGovern was okay last week.
He played well. Yeah, I thought he played well too. I didn't think
I
he
actually
played
thought
a
he
bad
was
game.
okay. I actually thought he was okay.
Oh, raising the arms with the umpires, I just don't think he's disciplined around that. He just loses his way a bit, in my view. Yeah, but happy to give him a chance. I've been a big fan of his. Wanted him in that first game, opening round. Let's see what you got. Yeah. Okay. But our forward line pressure is a big, big factor this week. Like Voss he's got to put Byrne in the team. I don't know the situation with Frankie Evans. I'm hoping he's right to go.
I think he's still injured.
Yeah. Okay. All right. That's the case. You bring Byrne in, because at the moment, Richmond would be looking at Carlton's team and going, well, our exit D50s are going to be easy this week.
So what's that forward line look like, Robbie? What's the 6?
Oh, well, we've got Ainsworth, Kemp, Haywood, Smith starting there. Smith probably might start on the ball. Don't know.
Yeah.
Mackay and O'Keefe. I think O'Keefe brings aerial pressure. We can't take a mark up forward. In that opening round, it was like, Jesus. Wow.
He definitely helps Harry out and Kemp to a certain degree, I think. I like it.
Yeah, he's strong overhead. Just on what he showed last year, he puts those big mitts up and they stay there. Yep. And
so he's got to come in for Reedy then.
Yep.
Potentially, yeah. Yep.
Yeah, he has to. You can't play him and Reedy. Impossible.
So O'Keefe plays in the ruck a little bit.
Who's on your bench?
Suspect. Yeah.
He has to.
Okay. All right. Yeah, no, fair enough. Elijah Hollands, what's your thoughts here? What, less than 50% kicking efficiency last week? I think are around about 50.
Very uncharacteristic though. Yeah, I don't know. I thought he might have had an injury or an injection in his foot or something, because, geez, for the first 4 kicks, he couldn't hit a target.
Well, I think he tried to kick like he was in dry weather footy, and rather than just keeping it simple, he did some instep kicks which I found extremely odd, because on a dewy 9, don't try and hit those kicks that you think would normally happen on a dry day. He did that, and he's got a habit of doing that. And look, he's a highly skilled player, but he did an instep kick inside 50 at one point. It was like, who's going to mark that? That's like
I reckon I'll stick with him.
Yeah.
I agree with you. His kicking was horrendous.
Particularly
in the first half, first quarter. So who else on your bench, Robbie?
I've got so Byrne, Carroll, Lord, Zach Williams. You know, I've got Ben Campo, Elijah Hollins. There's a sprinkling there. Yep. Yep.
Now, hopefully they play Byrne. I'd like to see Byrne play. So does that mean Moyer, in your eyes, is Moyer miss?
Yeah, I think so. Look, don't be surprised if he plays, but he just doesn't get the ball enough for me.
That's his problem.
That's the problem.
Yeah.
Because when he does get it, he looks silky. His hands are really sticky, and he's a beautiful kick. You're right, but he just doesn't get enough of it, and he doesn't probably put any defensive pressure on.
No, he's part of that problem, that defensive forward problem, where you lock in. The ball doesn't come out. I found our forwards Thursday night chasing us. That's all they were doing. It was kiss chasing in the schoolyard. Instead of what they should have been doing was getting some numbers behind the footy, and making sure that we're crabbing across the ground. Instead, we were chasing shorts, chasing backside. So their positioning on that defensive aspect was poor. And Blakey was able to just pierce that half forward line and get some metres gained. It looked bloody embarrassing, you know.
So your changes are Young out, Cowan in, Sard out, Carroll in, Moyer out, Byrne in, Reedy out, O'Keefe in.
Yep, they're the changes. Yep.
You had Boyd in there too, though.
Oh yeah, Boyd. Yeah, there's 5 changes.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, that means someone like Zach Williams probably comes out, or a Chesser, I don't know. And then you got Akers. So yeah, it'd be interesting to see selection. It's going to be tough. It's going to be tricky this week.
That's 5 changes. Wow, 5 to 6 changes. I didn't want to hold.
I don't think they'll make that many changes.
Probably 3 changes.
They're gonna make at least a couple, I reckon. You can't go with the
There's
same.
a couple there. No, there's a couple there, but I don't think.
But Rocky, Young, Sard, Moyer, Reedy, they didn't set the world on fire. Cowan, Carroll,
Sard's
Byrne,
injured.
O'Keefe.
So Sard's injured. So Sard, we know he's going to be replaced. But I'm saying, I can't see him making a quarter of a side, changing a quarter of a side based on that first half of footy was really good footy.
Yep. Yeah.
Oh, the other ones that I didn't mention is Fogarty, so he might come out. Fogarty might come out too.
Yeah.
Fogarty.
It's probably Fog for Byrne, right? It's probably like for like.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he's a bit sore too, Fogarty. And is he the same player? That's the question. Unless the coaching staff are seeing something that we're not, or the fans aren't. You know, you go back a couple of years ago, Fogarty was really, really motivating to watch. His forward pressure stuff was outstanding. I don't know if he's the same player.
No, he persists with his favourites, Voss. I mean, we don't give kids opportunity. I would have played Flynn Young, to be honest with you.
Yeah. Let's be honest. Lockie Fogarty isn't getting a game for any other team.
No.
In reality, this is his last year. Let's be brutally honest here.
Yeah.
He's been a good pressure forward in the past. He cannot hit the scoreboard.
Yeah,
he really shouldn't be in the team.
Yeah.
He's probably lucky he got a game last week.
Yeah. Yeah. Richmond will be pretty fresh this week too, won't they? They'll be. I think they'll
Tommy Lynch is playing. Bolter's playing.
Not the same player though, Bolter. I think after his little incident up in New South Wales, I don't think he's been the same player since. Yeah. So we need to watch their D50 exits. They're quick. They'll try and take advantage of what we've got up forward.
100%.
So I think, it's going to be an interesting game. I can't. I don't know. I can't see us winning the game, mainly because our mindset's probably a little bit flat. We would need a couple of cracking games out of some players. Cripps would need to play really well. So yeah, I'm not
Cripps
sure.
gets a good matchup, doesn't he? He gets good matchups on Thursday night with Taranto and Hopper.
Yeah,
I mean,
that to his advantage. Yeah, that's right. He's able to get his hands free, get his hands on the footy, and I think he can dish pretty well on Thursday night. It's going. Look, I'd prefer if it wasn't dewy Thursday night. I'm hoping it's not going to be, the ball's
I
not
think there's
dewy and wet.
rain. Is there rain? I think there's rain in the morning. So it might be.
Yeah, that's not going to help
It might
us
be.
given our tackle numbers.
who's the most important player for Richmond?
I think
You'd have.
I think the young guy up forward, the draftee, number 1 pick.
Laylaw.
Yeah.
I
Oh,
don't know.
he's special.
Nah, I think it's yeah. He
I don't
tore us. He
know.
tore us a new one last year, didn't he? I
Who
think
is
it's
it, Maxie?
Boston. I think it's Boston.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, look, definitely. Yeah, good player. Uses the ball well. But I think Laylaw he's special, Maxie. I'd say he's probably win a Brownlow one day. I'd say big call, but geez, mate, he's a superb footballer. Yeah. So I'll be interested to see who plays on him because they'll need to be okay. Yeah. Probably going to be Cowan or Walsh, I'd say. Walsh is flexible.
I'd put Cooper Lord on him. Maybe, I don't know.
Cooper Lord, a bit big for Cooper, I reckon. He's going to be. He can do most things, this kid. So look, all in all, Richmond they haven't had a great preseason either. Let's be honest, they've been a bit flat. So I don't know. You guys going along?
I'm along. I'll be there.
Yeah, Rocky.
Yeah,
will
I'll be there.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah.
All right,
Awesome,
gents.
awesome. All right. So what to work on the track this week, boys? What do we? If you were to think of one thing that they need to work on, what is it?
Oh, I mean, without
Tackling pressure
saying,
has to be.
yeah, has to be Rocky, doesn't it?
Has to be.
Sure, tackling. Okay. So for me, it's mindset around everything they do. I think the psychologists will probably be the busiest guy down there this week at Icon Park.
It's a she, isn't it?
Oh, yeah, is it? Okay.
He, she.
Not sure. Yeah, but they'll be working hard on many aspects of the game. But I think if they review the game and look at that tackle number and divide that by 23 players, they'll know that's not good math.
That'll be a big focus, that's for sure.
Yeah, and some players will be sitting there going, "Well, I didn't apply a tackle." So yeah, but look, let's keep it positive. I think Voss is fine. I don't see any issues with him at the moment. I think there's they're going to stick fat, and I can't see any change.
I'm not saying they'll see any at the moment, but I'm saying the next 3 games will be the litmus test.
Yeah,
They're all winnable,
sure.
all 3 of them. Yeah,
for sure. But I think that the Melbourne game's probably gettable. Richmond, look, I wouldn't be surprised if we lose this week. That's how it is. But we're on a different ground, home of footy. Let's get excited.
All right, gents. I think we'll wrap it up there. Thanks for your time this morning. We'll do a preview of the Richmond game during the week, and our audience can see it on YouTube. If the audience have any questions, we'd like to see some questions before our next recording. So put some out there to Robbie, myself, or Rocky.
That'd be nice. Plenty of questions.
Thanks, gents.
Great.
Thank you.
Fantastic. See you later.
See you, guys. Bluethentic.